Hello there everybody, welcome back with the Plapper. Platypus is the name, and we're going to take a look at Roguelands today. I just thought I was playing this game a little bit, had a fun with it, and I thought that you guys might want to see it a little bit. Roguelands is, you might even be able to tell just by looking at the font up here. It is made by Smash Games, who previously released Magicite, and you could definitely see the art style and most of the assets, maybe not most, but I mean the assets are definitely, and the art is very, very similar. So we're going to kind of just jump into it here really quick. And I'll kind of explain what's going on as I go. There's a lot to cover in this game. It's not like complex, but there's a lot of systems going on, so we just want to make sure we're getting it. So first things first, it is permadeath. Actually, let me go back to the main menu here. So it is permadeath. So these are your characters. You can have multiple characters that can go online, and you kind of level up differently and stuff. But once your character dies, they are dead for good. So the reason I don't have any characters here is I have played. I just died before recording this video, and not on purpose. I just screwed up basically. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pick our character. We're not gonna spend too much time putting in a lot of detail for this. We're gonna go pretty quick. We're gonna go with the Nomad. I like that. See, the Nomad has a +2 Vitality, which just means he's gonna have more HP, and I'm not very good, so HP is king right now. And then you can see there's all kinds of character customization here. There's all these different races. Again, I'm gonna stick with Nomad, and it tells you how to unlock them, which is a fantastic thing. And I'm sure they get better and better as you go on. Variant is just cosmetics. You unlock those. You actually usually unlock things when your character dies, so you could put a lot of time into a character and you don't want them to die, but eventually when they die, then you have a chance to unlock stuff. Outfits here, they each come with a passive bonus. I don't have any of these unlocked right now. I do have one unlocked, which the game's max HP is 100. Through leveling up, you can eventually get up to 100. If you wear this, actually, sorry, this one just gives you 5 crit chance, which is good. What I'm going to go here is an augment here, is you wear a Crusader hat. This makes your max HP potentially 125. It doesn't give you up to 125, but you just have the potential to get there. And you can kind of read a little synopsis here. This just tries to tell you what you're good at. Essentially, strength and magic. You pick 2 stats here, and whatever 2 stats you pick, you're going to get every time you level up. And then every 3rd level, you get your races bonus. So every level I'm going to get, let's say, Vitality and Dexterity, whatever I pick. And then every 3 levels, I'm going to get 2 Vitality, 1 Dexterity, 1 Tech, and 1 Strength. So it'll kind of mix it up here. We are going to pick Vitality for 1 and probably Dexterity. Gunners utilize their skills with both guns and cannons on the battlefield to defeat their enemies from afar. I think that's what I want. I want a lot of HP, then I want to be able to do range damage. That way I can hopefully not get my ass kicked here. Difficulty, Iron Man makes it so you have to start without any, basically, we'll get into that. Basically, it makes it so you can't get to your storage. There is a continuity. So all your characters use the same ship here, and the ship does not change between deaths. We're not going to explore the whole thing right now. We'll get around to that in a little bit. What is that? Is that just a light? I think so, yeah. I'll kind of go over all these facilities in a little bit. We're going to get into the main mechanics first, but I will show you just a couple things here. As this is your storage. It is persistent. When you die, you lose your weapon and everything else you were holding. And so if you have your really good weapons with you, you will lose those, but you can always make some more. I did happen to have this in here, and actually, really quick, just for myself, I am going to look up how to make I forgot how to make the gun, like a really basic level 1 gun. That way I don't have to go in with a I don't want to have to go in with a spear. So it's going to take like 2 seconds for me to quickly look at this. I actually did have it pulled up and accidentally closed it out. So just 1 second here. Blade, lance. All right, let's see. Green, black, red, which is what I'm going to think in my head. All right, so basically, we're actually going to show a little bit of the crafting here, I suppose, since I want to make a gun. So we're going to go get one of these, and these are all things we'll talk about. You don't need to worry about this too much right now. I just want to be able to get something so I can have this started. So we're going to go green, black, red. Make this, and now we got a level 1 gun here. It gives me, you can see the stats it gives you. Pretty bad. This actually gives you more overall stats, but I plan on, this scales with dexterity, so I plan on using this. Alright, so we're not going to worry about that right now. We'll come back to all the crafting and stuff, either when we die or when I feel like we've gotten a good experience here. So this is where most of the game's going to take place. First thing you're going to notice here is what I'm about to do. I'm about to right-click, and you enter combat mode. You can't attack unless you're in combat mode. So this is kind of like adventure mode. You can still do all the maneuverability, but it gives you a I guess it lets you zoom the camera a little bit better. Like, you can't look over there to zoom to that direction. So first thing, yeah, you can wander around, and then you have to enter combat mode to fight. And then that's when you get access to your skills and stuff. You can't use any of your skills outside of combat mode. So it can be a little, I don't want to say frustrating, because that's not the word. It can be a little difficult to get used to at first. Let's talk to this guy. He's an NPC. This guy is he's passive. Basically, he's going to tell us that he was here on a hunt, and now he's going to give us a weapon. We don't want to get hit by that. And so what you're doing here mostly, I haven't gotten far into the story or even far into the game, but I have played for like an hour or two and done a lot of failed attempts. It's a very get better as you go. Like, skills very important, as well as continuity between your characters. So don't be surprised there. I'm trying to avoid this. That will deal damage if it hits us. So basically what you're going through here is, I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm actually trying to get to this thing behind him. He's kind of standing in an annoying spot. We're trying to gather materials. We don't need a pickaxe and stuff to gather for ourselves. We actually have a drone that'll do that for us. We'll go here and look at, we're gathering tasty herbs, probably planet stone here. These are pretty low level stuff, but we're currently low level, and we don't have a lot of continuity. So right now we're exploring, trying to gather ingredients, leveling up, and this thing gives you portal uses. I actually haven't looked into that. I think you only have a limited number of those, but I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, so don't really worry about that. It hasn't affected my game in several hours, so I doubt it's going to very much in the future. And you can see us, we're leveling up. When you level up, you don't get anything besides stats. You don't, like, unlock skills. You have to find skills or buy skills, or there's ways to obtain skills, but you don't get them from leveling up. So we'll get a chest here, and you can see we're just gathering ingredients and stuff. I really do like having a range thing. It makes it makes enemy, because you can shoot through walls and stuff, so it gives you a tactical advantage. And these guys here, you got to worry about. They don't do anything unless you touch them, and then suddenly you got a monster on your hands. And once you fight a couple of them, their mother's going to come down from the sky, and it's going to be a giant one of these. And they're not too tough to handle as long as you got the right kind of setup, but still, running into a few of those by mistake can suddenly make your day much more difficult than you intended it to be. And again, with the permanent death, the game can be very unforgiving, so you got to be careful. We'll activate our speed on this guy. We do have a speed spell, which is, it's okay. I don't use it very much, but it does let you kite a few enemies pretty easy. We're gonna oops, shit, I ran into that. Health does not regenerate over time, unless you get over the max HP. But for the most part, you have to make potions, which is not that bad. It's really annoying at first, because you have no idea how. But once you find out how, the ingredients to at least craft the very basics is not tough at all. So I think we already have. Sorry, I had to cough there. We already have a few basic potions. The really cool guy with the Dragon Slayer, he gave us some. I've noticed a lot of different enemies. Like, once you get to the different areas, enemies have quite a bit of different behaviors. Still, there's usually like, oh, there's the passive enemy, there's the enemy that chases you down. But they'll have a lot of different things going on, and they'll keep you on your toes for trying to dodge them, which is very important. In order, especially for something repetitive, like, this game is repetitive, but not in a negative way. Like, you have to kind of farm and make some progress, but the game keeps it interesting enough with lots of gear and leveling up, and you're always getting better. At least I haven't gotten to a point in several hours where it's felt like anything's been particularly annoying or anything. Except I want to be careful here. You could double jump essentially forever, as you can tell. I'm probably forgetting to mention a lot of things about the mechanics as we go on here. Oops, see? This is where it gets hairy. Let's get over here, but we don't want to hit these and summon some more. We want to be careful about this. Alright, as long as we're careful, we should be fine, because I'm sure one of them's almost dead. With only 5 HP, that's really only like 2 or 3 hits. Oh. I misjudged that there. Oop, yeah, gotta enter combat mode. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna be okay. It was close, though. Oh, I accidentally hit the stop recording button, so we're in the same spot, though. But yeah, we just lost a second there. So basically, yeah, I got pretty tough there, but I think we're good. We're gonna end it. We don't, like, this is kind of the circle, you know, when you play. And we'll gather this really quick, but we don't really need much of this stuff. We already have a lot since I've played enough to have some gathered up. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, we could check this out first. So when you complete a level, you're going to come to this little kind of hub. You can think of it as like a minor town or a shop. This thing will give you some experience for, it's not randomly generated, it goes in order so you can predict and know which one you're going to get. but it'll give you experience for your weapons, and your weapons can level up, and I assume they could be enchanted, or maybe once they reach certain levels, they hit special bonuses here. So we're going to go for weapon experience. It's after ring, so boom, 172. We can take a look here. We notice that it's level 2 with about 25%, maybe closer to 20% of the next level as well. And so all the stats went up. And now what we can do is we can spend money here. Flutterfly, these are all gatherable, at least this one is. And so you can find some cool stuff here, some things that are important. We are going to buy these. We need 10 monster claws for a current quest that I'll show you in a second here. Might as well harvest these guys really quick. I am going to play this game a lot, I think. Like, I'm definitely going to get... I might even do a series on it. I might, like, reset all the data and then start a series and with the unlocks and shit. We'll see. I'm thinking... It's not important. Either way, that's for after this video, I suppose. Yeah, we'll harvest a few of these things here really quick. We got a level. Alright, let's see what this is. We'll get into the emblems and stuff once we get back to the... when I talk about the crafting and stuff. Alright, so this guy here, he's also on our ship back home. Basically, he will give us quests, and you can refresh it for a butt ton of money here. And, yeah. Kill a plague beast, I haven't found them. Deliver monster claws, we have 1. So yeah, we gave him 1, we got 9 more. That's actually the first thing I completed. But then you can see his reward here. 1,000 credits, 1,000 world fragments, 6,000 credits for deliver 10 Zephyr emblems. I haven't done that. I don't even know what that is, honestly. We have one of these back at our house, too. First, let's go ahead and just put this stuff away. Put it all away. This is to go into the next level, then you'll continue the loop. If you want to just keep going, keep finding this and that, and you want to just go as far as you can, start fighting higher level things. Basically just keep crafting, and every time you'll get to the end of the level, you get to level up your stuff. And but if you want to go back to the ship at any point, you come here. And now we're going to kind of go over what's going on here. We'll start right over here. First and very foremost, this is where if you want to go back into the game and start doing the mechanics and whatnot. Now, this is challenge level 1, stronger enemies with... Okay, so this is where you can pick what levels you want to start with. It looks like, okay, that's interesting. I actually didn't know how this worked. So when you start right here, you go into the Desolate Cavern. I think you could switch this so that's green, yeah. And then you can switch it to blue. These are slightly more difficult as you go on. So you can choose to start at the easy one, which comes with tier 1, I think tier 2, and then tier 3 things. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to progress past this point. But also, when you finish a level, you could choose to go into a different area. And it looks like you could actually take these areas and upgrade their difficulty. So, you can find better items and stuff. Very expensive, though. So, yeah, this chooses where you go. Let's go over here. This is alchemy. I'll actually see if I can come over here and grab something. What do we got? We will grab one of these. I'll actually grab 2. Creature eye, and I think Firefly. I think that'll probably be it. I think we need the creature eye. Actually, is there something else that I missed really quick? I just want to make sure that I got the correct ingredients. Tier 2, Tier 3, yeah. So these are the 3 Tier 1s. We'll go with that for now. I feel like it's faster to dodge in the air. Alright, so what you want to do here, I've already done the alchemy. But you don't have any recipes at first, so you kind of got to guess. But there's not that much, because you can only use things that are in the same tier. And you're allowed to use plants, bugs, or monster parts. And currently in tier 1, all there is 1 plant, 1 monster part, yeah, and 1 bug. So yeah, 1 plant, bug, and monster parts. So you know that everything you can make at tier 1 is a combination of these. And now the way you put them in here does matter. For example, if I put Firefly, eye, and then herb, I'll start crafting. You click this a few times and I'll get Ashen Dust, which is just alchemy gone wrong. So that's there's no recipe for that. It just means you didn't have a recipe. I'm sure that there is a point to this besides just being terrible. I'm sure this could be used in something else. So let's try a different one. Let's put this first, and we'll switch these 2 around. Now let's try this out. Actually, we can already see what we're going to get because we already have the recipe here. So then I would craft this. It would be the same thing, but instead of getting the Ashen Dust, I would get this. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually take these out, and we're going to go right here, and we're just going to click this, and it'll instantly make the potion for us. So now you don't even need to go through the process. This is kind of experimentation to find the recipe, and once you find it, if you have the stuff in your inventory, you can just click this, or click that to get the item you want. Although we don't have it in our inventory right now, so it becomes pretty easy to get potions. Now the next thing is a little more I don't want to say complex, but it's different. We'll get let's take 25 of these. We'll take 20 of them. I think that's fine because we can't do anything with 5. All right. We'll do this, this, this. 1, 2. It's a little annoying to separate these things like this, but it's not that bad. 1, 2, 5. All right. So we'll start with this. So in order to craft gear and stuff, and there's crafting gear, it's a little interesting, but not bad. First, you got to come to this thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring stacks of 10 of different loot, basically, or anything that says loot, monster part, bug, plant. You can come here, plant, not those. Scrap metal is not loot. Neither is ash and dust, but there is like planet stone here. We'll take 10 of them. I guess we'll take 21 actually. That's fine with me. And so you can see anything that says loot. So you're going to bring a stack of 10 of it at least over here. And you're going to do this. It's going to create it into an emblem. You've probably seen a couple of those throughout the video and wondering what they are. So you do is you click it. You'll do it. It'll automatically convert the entire stack into as many emblems as you can. And we'll take this. So yeah, you see now we had 1 left over. So it leaves that on the side. So now we have emblems. And what you do is you craft emblems and you use that to craft gear. So you can see firefly emblems, obviously made from fireflies. Planet emblems made from the planet rock, planet stone rather. And so it's pretty simple in that you find 10 of an item, you craft it into an emblem, and then you use the emblem here. We do have a recipe right now, or a couple recipes that we could see, like we could see using a herb emblem, a planet emblem, and then an eyeball emblem will let us make this. And then I don't even know what this is. I made it actually. So we got that now. I guess once we found the weapon, we could make it as well. I wonder if that's a ring. No, these are probably shields over here. Oh yeah, actually, sorry, it tells you up here. Shield and droid recipes, helm recipes, armor recipes, sword and lance, and cannon. So alright, so we got something called the Typhoon 9. I'm sure that's gonna be better than what we got. It doesn't give us any HP though, so I'm probably gonna stick with this for now. It's not particularly important. However, just for a quick experiment, I do have a thing pulled up here that I haven't tried before. Let's see. Is this the same ingredients in a different way? I believe so. Let's extend this out a little bit. Red, black, yellow is how I'm going to remember it. I don't remember it from the item exactly yet. So what we're going to do is, let's minimize this. We're going to put a red item, red here, fireball, planet stone, firefly. We're going to craft this. And now we unlock the recipe. As you can see, it works the same as alchemy essentially, except instead of alchemy, you can't use emblems. In these, you have to use emblems. And so now we crafted another tier 1 gun. This one gives you, this is level 2, so it's not fair. This is better. It probably gave you 3 stats. It probably gave you 1, 1, and 1. And now this gives you a little, this one gives you magic. So if you were going to be a magic character right off the bat, but you wanted to use a gun, this would be the one you'd want to use. Or even if you just find some really good skills, most of the skills go off magic, which is up here. This is HP, I should have explained this sooner. HP, mana, stamina. And different stats will increase them differently. I'll kind of go over that in a second as well. When we, I meant more when we get over here. So that's basically how all the crafting works. Also, you have this thing down here which auto gathers certain things. Sometimes you'll find other things in here, but essentially world fragments. They're a different kind of currency essentially. Instead of using it, there's shops that only take that kind of currency. We'll put all these away. Not too big of a deal right now. So yeah, pretty simple crafting. I like how the crafting works. It works really well, and it's not complex, but there's still a lot of different recipes you could do without it having to go into 1,000 different things. So let's go here. Combat chips are essentially these. Currently we have swiftness, which lets us move faster. Essentially, combat chip just means skills. Like in I guess if you're thinking of Skyrim, think of different spells. If you're thinking of not even spells though. I mean, it kind of is spells. Like this would be a spell, but you can also get ones that give you passive bonuses. But yeah, it's essentially you go, you find them, you buy them, and they get collected here. And on death, you do lose them all. This is one of the biggest devastating things I thought. Like losing your equipped gear sucked, but then losing your combat chip. So when you start off as like a magician or something, you don't have them. You just have the speed one because this is default. So basically, you're gonna find them here. There's ones that like gives you 3 strength, but then there's ones like throw a frag grenade. So there's different ones that go off different things. There's ones that scale with your magic. and there are ones that scale with kind of like dexterity. Like let's go here to our thing. So you'll find ones that will just give you more HP and all kinds. There's too many to go through in any kind of detail. I did have one that was a plasma grenade that was fantastic. So let's go over the stats here really quick. So vitality, obviously this is HP, very simple. Dexterity, powers with guns and cannons, is very simple. However, it also will increase this bar right here, which is your ability to double jump and dodge to the side. As you can see, you could use it really quick if you want to, but you wouldn't actually have to do that. Does a normal jump take one? A normal jump does take one. In Magicide, it was only the double jumps that did. Anyway, it's not too important. So this adds to this as well. I think strength might actually add to HP as well, but it may not. Anyway, so this is guns, cannons, simple. Magic gives you mana, and it gives you increased power with gauntlets. And mana, there are certain skills that scale with mana. Like I think there's a fireball, and I saw a lightning bolt one. I haven't used it, but I did see it. Faith is very, very similar to magic, as it does give you bonus mana, but instead of gauntlets, you use staffs. And there are certain spells that will scale off faith as opposed to magic. Tech is very similar to dexterity. Tech is it will increase this stat as well. So you have the ability to dodge more and stuff. It doesn't increase you with any it doesn't increase your damage with any specific weapon. However, there are really cool like turrets as a skill, and there's plasma grenades as a skill, and those scale off tech. I think there are some that scale off dexterity, but I haven't seen any of them, but I would assume that there's a couple, but there's a lot of really good ones, abilities that scale off tech, but no weapons itself. So it's kind of it's fun, but I could also see it being risky as you don't have a consistent damage output. And when you cast tech spells or magic spells, they all come from magic, from what I've seen so far. So increasing your magic and stuff, even if you're really, let's say you're high health, high tech, and you're using turrets and stuff, and even like you're using a sword for if they get too close to you, you still want to have a little bit of magic. That way you can afford to cast your spells. And strength is pretty self-explanatory. Increased damage with swords and lances. I'm not sure if any of these dictate. There is a critical hit chance. I think maybe dexterity will increase that. Does that do anything? These are your starting stats, I suspect, or something like that. Anyway, yeah. You can see different gear. You have quite a bit of slots here. I'm not using it all. I could easily craft some of this stuff in the inventory, but we'll leave some of those recipes for you guys to find out if you didn't see them. Rings, actually, you cannot craft. I'm sorry. You need to get those from chests, or you could buy them. And again, it's one of those things where if you die, you can lose them all on death. So let's come through here. That's kind of how, so we got through the crafting, we got through the stats and stuff. Let's go explore the rest of the ship. We haven't done it yet. There's a few NPCs here that'll talk to you. They're interesting and stuff. They got stuff to say. This guy's, he's just a helper bot. And there's some humor in there and stuff, which I enjoy. This guy's the quest giver. We already saw him out there. So if you put all the stuff on your ship, you can always come back here and sell it to him as well. This guy buys stuff from you. He scraps it. You click this and you select what you want to destroy, and he'll give you credits for it. I haven't had to really do that yet, but I understand that as I get, like, oh, I have 2,000 herbs because I've been farming a low-level area. That's something you're going to want to do. So you can use scrap metal, which is a thing we had back there that wasn't loot, as an alternative resource. I assume it's 100% cosmetic. Like, these appear to be entirely cosmetic. Like, I doubt engine block. I mean, maybe engine block. I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, you can actually jump through these. That's nice. That's nice. See what else we got here. Spawn location. The fact that this is so cheap is probably practical. I'm assuming these are not cosmetic. These each have something else. Combat blocks, probably where you get the skills. Alchemy, obviously. Computer block. Okay, so these are the things upstairs. I think they essentially let you build multiple of them, or they let you just change the layout of it and stuff. So that's fine. Spawn location is fine. All that stuff is good to me. A few more NPCs. These are more races I think we can unlock. This guy, we could probably unlock whatever that is. Kind of looks like a really square Bowser. A really small, really square Bowser. Wealth trophy. I think the wealth trophy you buy, and then you use them to purchase this guy's things. This guy trades wealth trophies for things. And this is where we use those crystals that I was talking about. Ashen dust, which you can get very easily from making alchemy bad, costs 1,000. So I'm thinking there might be a purpose to it. Or this guy might just be like, oh, he sells like literally junk, and it refreshes every now and then. Mystery gift can also give you rings, and I'm sure all kinds of other things. Don't know what these do, but again, I haven't gotten very far into the game. I'm more into the mechanics of it. I don't need to have an in-depth guide of how to do this, how to do that. I think this is more just to show you kind of the concept of what the game is. That way you can know if it's something you're interested in. You could just do discovering for yourself. Lenny, personal navigator during missions. Oh, this is the guy that lets us know when we're getting attacked by pirates and stuff. All kinds of crazy things can happen when you go into the game. A new ether crystal to get this up and running again. Okay, so... Oh, shit. Hey, you're strong and smart, cadet. Why don't you grab me one of the... desolate cannon? Oh, canyon, sorry. Here they drop off those big round monsters. Okay. So this guy, I guess that's like a quest, it looks like. Wonder if there's, I don't think so. Another thing that's gonna be something that you guys will like, I assume, is there is a build mode. So you can come here. Maybe it doesn't work in here. Maybe you have to be in your own special part of the ship. Yeah, it looks like you have to be here, but you can edit this area, you can build it out. You can make your unique ship. It's not something that I care about, per se. It's not really my thing. But I know that there are people that are really into Minecraft, that really like Terraria. I really like those games as well, but I wasn't into the building cool things. I was into the progression more of getting cooler things, but I didn't care about cosmetically. So it's still great that you have an option here. You can remove that, like, all right, I want to be able to see space here. Yippee skippy. Or, you know, I'll just put it back, though. Right? There we go. All right, anyway, that's build mode. We explored the ship. There's not really anything else to go through. You guys kind of saw the basics of it. There are bosses and lots of skills, lots of gear to get, lots of leveling up to do. A lot of farming from what I've seen so far because it's permadeath and only your storage chest is. So you want to go through a couple times, try to save up some stuff. That way when you have a good life, you have a lot of potions. Or even then, for when you die, you want to be able to not start over from scratch. You want to be able to come in here and be like, all right, I got an Aether Lance, Aether Blade. I could just go through here and grab a couple guns, potentially some good ones. I can craft some potions and do what I need to do. Anyway, guys, so that's basically the game. I just wanted to give you kind of let you conceptualize what it's all about. Also, I think it's very pretty. But now I'm going to kind of talk about what I feel about the game. Obviously, when I do these videos, it's usually pretty safe to assume that I'm doing it because I like the game. I don't get paid to do these. I pay for all these games. So usually it's a game that I was interested in personally and wanted to share with you guys. And that's exactly what this is. It's a game that I was very interested in, and it was a Steam sale. Actually, I think I took a few notes here about the game. It's currently $8.99 actually on Steam, but I think it's like 10% off. I don't remember for how long. So, but its full price is $10, which this game's easily worth $10 in my own opinion. Overall, from when I was playing it, it was very fun. Actually, let's save and quit here. From what I've seen of this game, it's very, very fun. A lot like Magicite, if Magicite was combined with Terraria. Because on Terraria, it's very similar. When you die, you lose all your stuff. Unless you're playing on softcore mode. But if you're playing on hardcore mode, you know, you lose all your stuff. And it's very much like that in a lot of ways. It's not quite as much building as Terraria has, but it's more combat focused like Magicite. So it's a very fun game combination. Very difficult, not at all easy. I haven't even gotten to the high level stuff, and I've gotten my ass kicked more times than I can count. A lot of frustrations, but not bad frustration. It's like striving to be better kind of frustration. The sound of the game is really good. Like all the music, the sound effects, I really like the sound effects. The music I tend not to pay attention to too much in games unless it's exceptionally good or exceptionally bad. So it's somewhere in that middle range. Like, it's good. I would definitely say it's leaning towards good, but the sound effects are very noticeable. The loud like bops when you jump around, when you collect things. It's just really good sounds, and it makes you feel like, oh yeah, I got all this stuff. The combat it's very difficult, but it's fun. I wouldn't say it's super like, it's not like you're playing chivalry, you know, warfare. It's not like it's like, all right, super one-on-one tough combat, but you mostly get overwhelmed, and then there's things where enemies will be able to hit you where you don't think they should, and it'll feel like it's stupid. Like, so cheese tactics come into play a lot when you're playing this, but it's also part of that's part of getting better as a player as well. I feel like melee is not practical in this game. It's kind of like Magicite. Like, if you wanted to win the game, melee was not the way to go. It just wasn't realistic because you put yourself too close to danger. When you were ranged, you could just not get hit ever because you could stay super far away. I feel like this is kind of away from that a little bit. Melee seems a little more practical because the melee seems to do a little bit more damage. You're not quite as slow, you're faster, you can avoid getting hit a little bit easier. And I've actually got killed because I wouldn't switch the melee because I was determined to keep doing ranged, and a guy's closed in and my attack speed was too slow. Overall, I think this game is I, I haven't played it again long enough to say that it's amazing, but I personally I've had a huge amount of fun, even much more than I thought I would from the beginning of the game. And I think it officially released June 13th, the 1.0. It's currently 1.1. As you could see that, I suppose. I think it came out like a year ago, or like last November 2015, is when it entered Steam. But it's fully out now, so you don't gotta wait for any more features to be implemented. Maybe there'll be some things in the future, like some DLC or whatnot, but it's a full-fledged, full-bodied game for $10, and there's a lot of hours in this. So I highly recommend you guys at least check it out, and hopefully if this video didn't really... I should have given you a taste of everything in the game. Like, we didn't go into depth in anything, but everything is like, alright, so this is kind of what the combat's like, this is kind of what the crafting's like, this is kind of what the exploration is like, this is what the game mechanic cycle is like. Feel free to watch another person's video and other reviews. I'm pretty sure that the game's going to be pretty well loved by everyone that's reviewing it. Anyone that played Magicite and loved Magicite is absolutely going to love this game. I would say even more than Magicite. Magicite was fun. It didn't have quite as much repetitive, like, not as repetitive. It didn't have as much replay value for me, and I played it for like, still like 15 hours, like a good long time, and I think I beat it one time. And it's fun, but every time you died, it was like, oh god, it really sucks to start over. This has a much more cushioned start over, which is enjoyable because you are making very substantial progress throughout the game. And every time you create a character, it's super fun to create a new character because you get all these new outfits, you get all these new variants you can look like, you get all these new different stat layouts you could pick, you get different races and stuff, so it's super fun. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful to you. I'm not going to give it like a score or anything because this isn't a review. It's more of again, just to kind of let you guys know. So thank you very much for watching. Be on the lookout for more per Platypus. I have Let's Plays going up on the channel. I'm going to be doing more kind of first impressions like these. And that's all I've got for today. So thank you very much. Per Platypus is per Platypus.